So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about how to do this lab. This is the oops, uh, Atomic Structure Online Simulation Lab. So to do this lab, the first thing you're going to need to do is go to this PhET simulation. It's called Build an Atom. So if you click on that, it'll open up eventually in your browser, and you just hit play. And after you hit play, there's going to be a few options that will come up. Just takes a little bit to load. Okay, so you want to click on the atom option. And I just want to show you a few things that you can do here. So this is an atom, and you have protons, neutrons, and electrons, and you can add protons to the nucleus, and it tells you what element you're making. So we've got hydrogen. It tells you a few other things. It tells you the charge. If you click right here, it will tell you the exact charge. It's +1. It tells you the mass number, which is the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. So if I add a neutron, see the mass number goes up to 2, because now I've got a proton plus a neutron. And if I add an electron, you'll notice the charge goes to 0, because I've got 1 proton and 1 electron, so 1 positive, 1 negative, and they're canceling each other out. Okay, one other thing that you can do here is if you check this box that says stable and unstable, you should check that. It will tell you whether or not your atom is stable. And stability has to do with radioactivity. So when an atom is unstable, it will be radioactive. And you can make it unstable by adding neutrons. And it starts shaking. So in this assignment, you're just going to be answering questions using this model right here, this model of the atom. Notice this is the planetary model, although you can change it to the cloud model. But the planetary model is easier to see the electrons. So that's why we use that one. So the first question that you need to answer, I'm going to scroll down. Okay. It asks, how does changing the number of protons affect which element you are building? So if we go back over here, I've got 1 proton, the element is hydrogen. If I add another proton, oh, now the element is helium. So what I could say for that question is I could say, if I can get it to type here. Here we go. So changing the number of protons changes the element. Okay, then you need evidence for that. So there's 2 ways you can do the evidence. If you want to, you can just type evidence. So for example, you could say 1 proton is hydrogen, because when we had 1 proton, the element was hydrogen. 2 protons is helium, because when I had 2 protons, it turned into helium. So that's evidence that the number of protons changes the element. Now, another thing I can do is use screenshots for my evidence. So to use a screenshot, let me take one of these protons out. It's hydrogen. So to do a screenshot, you'll hit Control and then the Windows switcher, which is the 6th key over on the very top of your keyboard. When you take a screenshot, it'll pop up, and then if you copy it to your clipboard, go back here, and then paste it, hit Control V, V as in violin, to paste it. So there's my picture with hydrogen with 1 proton, and then I can do a picture of helium. So if I add another proton, that's helium. And then if I hit Control Window switcher, take a screenshot of that, and I can paste it right here. So that's another way you can do the evidence. You can decide whether you want to do screenshots or whether you want to just type. Either way is fine. So for the next 2 questions, just play around with the model. Questions 4 through 7, you probably want to look at the notes that we took today on subatomic particles. So if you were gone, look at the notes that are posted on Canvas. And then questions 8 through 11, you're going to want to use the model over here again. So send me an email if you have any questions, but that's how you do this assignment.